Happy March 4th and happy Star Wars Day. Welcome into the FSU weather show for tonight. Got a gorgeous sunset out at Doak Campbell Stadium. Plenty of colors in the sky. Staying nice and comfortable at 75 degrees. We did have some gusty winds. I saw some reports of 40. Right now gusting up to about 17 miles per hour. Our radar is clear for now, but you'll notice far off to the west there's a little bit of green on there. That's going to be working its way in as we get into the overnight hours tonight. We'll have more on that, of course, tonight. We'll be timing out the rain and thunderstorms for tomorrow morning. We'll be timing out the potential severe threat in the southeast going on right now. And we'll also have our Spotlight City and Beach of the Week tonight on FSU Weather.
Welcome to your favorite Tuesday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Oceana Hayden.
And I'm student meteorologist Cicely Hammers.
And we have a very jam-packed show for you today.
Yes,
we have everything from severe weather in different parts of the country, and we'll also be taking you to different cities all across the country, some spotlight areas in Key West, popular spring break spots, and over to Charleston, Cicely's hometown.
Yes, my hometown. I can't wait to talk about it. And we're going to talk about all the severe weather coming to the southeast, Oceana.
Yes.
We have a big night of definitely looking at the timing, how everyone's going to be affected. We're going to be looking at the local Tallahassee view. I'm going to be talking a little bit about how Charleston is affected, and we're really just going to break up the national and just see how this line of storms pushes through to the east from Dallas. I know Dallas is really affected right now, and delays, and we actually have an FSU delay of 1 hour. Leon County schools are also delayed an hour for tomorrow morning. So Sloan, can you please tell us a little bit more about what that time is going to look like in Tallahassee?
Yes, absolutely, guys. So we definitely have a lot of severe weather coming, not only in the Tallahassee area, but really all across the southeast as well. So we're going to talk all about that on tonight's show. Right now, we do have a beautiful look at the sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium. Nice and warm for the first month, or for the first week of March. But if you guys got any time outside today at all, you would have noticed that it was quite gusty. Like Ryan said, up to 40 miles an hour of gusty winds at times. All that wind is coming ahead of a cold front. Again, going to create that severe weather for parts of the southeast. So as we look at our live radar now, we can see that we're really quite clear and calm, but all of that is going to change as we move into tonight and tomorrow morning. Again, nice and warm really all across the Big Bend in South Georgia, 75 in Tallahassee, mid-70s really all across the board. Tonight cooling down just a little bit, 64 in Tallahassee, a lot of spots all across the board in the mid-60s, but again, tonight is going to be that chance for those rain and that severe weather as well. So let's really just time it all out. We can see this squall line come in from the east. A lot of that more severe weather is going to be pushed out to the west of us, but here in Tallahassee, definitely expect heavy rain at times. It is moving fast, so that accumulation of rain is going to be about less than an inch, but definitely still expect those thunderstorms as well. But the southeast, kind of more to the west of us, is going to be where they have that more of that severe threat. So definitely if you are more to the southeast, places like Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, you could have a spin-up tornado. We could have that more chance for that hail. But then again, here in the Tallahassee and the Big Bend region, it's going to be more like heavy rain as well as those thunderstorms as well. Luckily, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, that chance for severe weather is definitely going to push off to the east of us. We're going to be left with a pretty clear afternoon tomorrow, but definitely just stay weather aware, not only tomorrow morning, but also throughout the afternoon as well. Again, kind of like I said, tomorrow morning is going to be that time to look out for that rain, those heavy thunderstorms as well. Tomorrow afternoon is going to be when we have that clearing. So as we take a full look at our 7-day forecast, we can see that Thursday is really going to be that time for that cool down. After that cold front, we're going to have a lot cooler weather, but also some drier weather as well. And then that next cold front is coming in this weekend. Cooler temperatures on Sunday after that cold front. Some rain ahead of it as well for Saturday and Sunday. But Ryan, what does the rest of Florida look like for that severe weather?
You know, Sloan, Florida's going to be in the same boat because we're going to see that pressure system and the front move through. So we've got Panama City Beach, nice sunset over in Orlando, both at 72 degrees. Taking a look out at I-4 in downtown Orlando. Tampa, nice sunset for the skyline. Same goes in Miami. But really all these cities are going to be experiencing that severe weather threat as we move into tomorrow. Right now temperatures are mild, 68 in Jacksonville and Pensacola as we work down to peninsula temperatures into the low and mid 70s. But right now, just a couple of sprinkles working their way more towards Fort Myers across I-95. A couple of sprinkles up towards West Palm Beach as well, working its way into Palm Beach County and kind of north of Miami-Dade County into Broward County. Now, as we work into the overnight tonight, that's when we're going to see this line of strong and severe storms. So about 3 a.m. is when it's going to be moving through Panama City. And then as we work forward just a little bit towards 8 a.m., out getting ready for today, Lake City down to I-75, that's kind of going to be when it starts to pick up, going to move through Jacksonville in the early morning hours. And then by about noon is when it's going to be crossing that I-4 corridor between Orlando and Tampa. So all the way from Daytona Beach through Orlando down to Tampa is when you're going to want to be severe weather aware for the afternoon time. And then it's going to be clearing out later into the afternoon, and behind that leave us with some sunshine to kick off the weekend, and then we'll be tracking that next cold front. So 60% chance of rain for Miami tomorrow. And on the backside of that, a little bit cooler temperatures in the 70s with 84 by Saturday. Fort Myers, same kind of setup where it's going to be rain through the morning tomorrow. And then as we get later into the day, it's going to start to clear out. 72 degrees for Thursday, getting back up into the 80s by the weekend. And those lows are going to be just a little bit cooler than they have been. Over in Orlando, same setup where it's going to be cool on the backside of it. Once we get through the severe weather tomorrow, it drops off drastically, 69 degrees for your Thursday, and then we start the warming pattern again before the next cold front works its way through. So for tomorrow across the state, just keeping in mind that the severe weather is going to be working its way through, and just staying weather aware, especially through the early morning hours into the afternoon. But we're going to have more on our beach of the week with Oceana.
Thanks, Ryan. So we're going to move things all the way down south to Key West, a very popular spring break location. And as you can see, it is living up to its name, 76 degrees and sunny skies. But they are feeling some of those winds that most of the state is feeling, with breezes up to 15 miles per hour. Now looking at our current radar, nice and clear, unlike most of the southeast right now, just some cloud coverage to make its way through the night. Now, unlike the past few weeks where some of South Florida was seeing some above average temperatures, look at that. Key West is actually exactly on average with their high of 79 degrees, a little bit close to their record of 85. Current temperatures all across the board in other spring break locations: 73 in Miami, 75 in Boca, 76 in Fort Myers, and then 77 in Marathon. Now for your day planner tomorrow, if you are lucky enough to be in Key West right now, tomorrow will be a great day to hit the beach or hang out on Duval Street. 78 degrees by noon, very comfortable conditions, nice and sunny with a very low chance of rain. And that really can be shown here on our Futurecast. Just some cloud cover as we go through tonight, and we will not expect any of that severe weather that is making its way through Florida to make it all the way down to Key West. Now for the weekend ahead, lots of sunshine to look forward to. 78 will be your high on Sunday, 77 on Saturday. And here's your Saturday beach forecast, the most fun awaited thing. Look at all these greens. 73 is your water temperature, very mild, not any worrisome waves to be aware of. Temperature of 79, and be aware of the high UV index though, 8, as we get into those springtime months where you might need some extra sunscreen. Now we're going to move things over to another popular spring break destination, Charleston, with Cicely.
This is actually my hometown, so I'm so excited to talk about it. If you are going to Charleston and find yourself there for spring break, Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms, I promise it won't disappoint. And obviously you have to go and walk around Rainbow Row, downtown Charleston, all of that stuff. So right now we are looking at 62, a little bit cloudy, and we are feeling that wind gust like we are in most of the southeast. It is a little bit lower at 9 miles per hour. And for our today high, we are looking at 72. So we are a little bit higher than average, but usually during the spring, we end up hitting those record highs. And we were sitting pretty average for this time of year, but we are going to see that rain come in tonight pretty early, and we are going to see that come in all the way till tomorrow, probably afternoon. So if you're planning out your day, we're going to start out pretty early if you wake up at 7 a.m., which I doubt you do. But if you are, for your 8 o'clock work day, we're looking at 40% chance of that rain, and we are going to get into that severe weather around noon. So what does that look like? Well, also, keep in mind, with those wind gusts, wildfires are so important, and South Carolina is actually under a state of emergency right now, and so is North Carolina. So we are looking at these wildfires, and I will show you just the map right now. What we're looking at, it extends all the way to Virginia, and as those wildfires intensify, we are seeing those wildfires slow down a little bit in South Carolina, but as those winds pick up tomorrow, that is definitely a severe lookout for tomorrow, as you need to keep aware that these dew points, we're looking pretty lower than average for this time of year. Usually we're a little bit more humid, especially down south in South Carolina. So if you are starting a fire tomorrow, please be aware of that safety fire risk. And as for the timing of that severe weather, we're going to see that cloud cover come in, and on Wednesday, 12:46 p.m., around 12 p.m., that is when Charleston will get its most severe weather. You're going to see Moncks Corner is also going to be affected by this. We're going to see Myrtle Beach. That is where most of the wildfires are going on right now. So we definitely need to be weather aware for this situation, as tornadoes can form, severe lightning, severe thunderstorms are so important during this time, and we're going to see this push off into the Atlantic Ocean east of us. But for our weekend forecast, like I said, Wednesday, that is your day of rain. And we are going to see a chance of rain on Sunday as well, so definitely keep weather updated. But for Saturday, we're going to be jumping back up into the 70s, which is going to be so fantastic. But be aware of that cold front, 39. I know Charleston, that is so cold. What is the rest of the Southeast timing looking like for this severe weather, Priscilla?
Yes, thank you, Cicely. And for the rest of the Southeast, really, that story has been developing over the course of today and into tomorrow. Right now, we're taking a look at our live cameras where we've got some clear skies in Nashville, a couple of clouds over in Tampa, but otherwise it's going to get pretty rainy as we head into the rest of tonight. For our current temperatures, we are sitting mostly in the 70s, so not too cold, not too hot, but we are going to see a big cool down as this line of storms makes its way off into the Atlantic. And for our live radar right now, this line of storms is mostly concentrated in the Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama areas. And this portion of red right here is all tornado watches. So very high threat for severe weather, tornado watches. You could see some gusty winds blowing away a couple of tree branches as well. So definitely a lot to think about and prepare for. If you do get a tornado warning, make sure to go to the most central room in your house and stay weather aware. And for the next couple of hours, we're going to see this line of storms roll out as we head into the early morning hours of Wednesday and into Thursday. It's going to clear up, but as we head into Friday, we've got a little bit of cloud cover to keep us feeling a little bit cooler. And as for our rainfall totals, we are seeing rainfall amounts up to ½ an inch to an inch, even peaking around 1¼ inches in Birmingham. But the real story is not really the rainfall amounts, but the widespread effect of this rainfall. You can see it stretches from the entire screen, from the coast all the way past Oklahoma and Nebraska. And as we go forward, so we see that threat was here today, but as we go into the next couple of days, tomorrow, that's where we're going to see that threat is mostly on the mid-Atlantic coast and into the Carolinas. Tonight, it's going to cool down as we head here in Tallahassee, and it's going to be still a little bit warmer down in the rest of Florida. Tomorrow, it's going to be still pretty warm, but we're going to see it cool down a little bit more. But Chris, tell us what is going on in the rest of the Southwest.
So the Southwest is not really seeing any of those severe weather threats specifically with tornadoes or severe thunderstorms. However, we are worried about some other threats in the Southwest, but our temperatures are mild across the board. However, take a look at this, folks. Look at this extreme drought that we have sitting over much of the state of Texas right now. We can see Sonora, San Antonio, all under those extreme drought conditions and very similar warnings around the area, and that's because we have very dry conditions all around the Southwest right now. As we zoom into Southern California, we can see we have a little bit higher dew points towards the coast, but we'd expect that because of the higher moisture towards the coast. We're at 47 by Los Angeles, but as you go into the higher elevations, you can see our dew points go into the 20s, so a bit drier in the mountains. However, we are also looking at the chance of snow, especially here in Denver. We could see some, we can see a little bit of a wintry mix, so that includes freezing rain, could be some sleet as well. We also have some rain just to the east of Albuquerque, but very similarly to Texas, we have very extreme drought conditions that really just spans from Arizona even into Southern California and into the southern tip of Nevada near Los Angeles. And as we take a look at our future forecast, as you're waking up on Wednesday morning, look at this. We get some rain in the Sacramento Valley, some much needed rain, especially with that dry ground we're seeing. However, that could create the risk for some flash flooding. So make sure that you have a form of communication to get those alerts from the National Weather Service. Along with that, we even have some more of that wintry mix in the Sierra Nevada. And by lunchtime, we have even more snow into the state of Nevada. And that will continue to just move throughout the desert Southwest here. And as we take a look at one of our spotlight cities, take a look at Phoenix, pretty nice warm temperatures. Definitely not those scorching temperatures like we see in the summertime, but there is a chance for rain on Friday. And taking a look at Sin City here, we can see that we also have some more of those more mild temperatures, a little bit of a cool down on Thursday. And when we get into the latter part of the week, we see those more mild temperatures, but a lot of showers and storms for the northern part of California. But now we're going to take a hop to the other side of the country with Matthew. Are we going to see any more of that severe weather in that part of the country?
Yeah, we might see a little bit of it later on, but right now here in the Northeast, you can see very cloudy right now. Lows much colder than they are here in the Southeast and in Florida, and much drier as well. So you might need that lotion or that chapstick, as it is very dry outside. But you can see we have some storms over the Great Lakes as it starts pushing across, and we'll see that by tomorrow. Those storms will really start affecting your drive. We'll see. Well, satellite here, we have a lot of cloud coverage, so maybe not a good night to go out and stargaze in the Northeast. Overall, I have some friends who live in Bangor, Maine. Just may not be the best night to be out. But you can see these storms will slowly start pushing up over Pennsylvania and through Virginia. And we could have some very severe storms in this line. So on your way to work tomorrow, be aware, could be a little rainy. And on the way back, you could have that rain on that road. So you are going to want to give yourself some extra time as well. For my brother in Pittsburgh, well, guess what? A lot of rain. So you're going to want to give yourself some extra time while driving. And we could even see some snow on Thursday. So make sure you are preparing for that, as it could be a little bit of a more wild drive overall. And for our temperatures, we'll see a lot of rain on Wednesday once again, but we'll start clearing up in New York, a little bit steady in the 50s overall, but looking very nice. And in Boston, look at this. You see all the clouds behind me here, looking very nice. A little bit more windy on Friday, as we'll cool down just a little bit. But for our tomorrow temperatures, we'll see that cloudiness as those showers will move through. We'll see a lot more of that rain, more localized in Washington, D.C., so you might need that rain jacket and umbrella as you walk out the door tomorrow, as those storms might ruin your plans. If you're trying to have outdoor dinner, you might need to push it inside, as we'll just have so much rain in those late hours. But David, as we hop across the Rockies, what else are we seeing?
Yeah, in the Northwest, we're seeing some crazy temperatures. Over in Seattle, we're pretty moderate at about 47, and Boise 51, but areas around the area are very cold, don't get me wrong. I'm from Florida, and personally, I'm not a fan of sub-freezing temperatures. If we take a look at our radar here, we're seeing some showers come off the Pacific coast and hitting our Seattle regions with a bit of a mix of rain and snow as well. And then our future radar is also just showing these constant storms just moving over the area as well. And we're going to be seeing this as we move into tomorrow as well. For our snowfall, areas are going to be receiving a lot of snowfall, especially north of Salt Lake City here. They could be receiving up to 20 plus inches of snow, so definitely be aware if you are out in the Salt Lake City region. Those areas will definitely be receiving a significant amount of snow for that. And then our current dew points, again, we're sitting pretty dry for the area. Nothing stands out to me, at least for the area, but Seattle is a little bit more moisturized as we're closer to the coast as well. And then if we're taking a look here at Seattle, for our 4-day week plan, basically temperatures are going to be in the 50s all the time. We have a 60% chance of seeing some snow here, or excuse me, some rain here on Wednesday. But other than that, our lows are sitting at about 40, a little bit below as well. And then if we take a look here at Boise, we're seeing pretty much the same temperatures in the 50s. Our lows are a little bit chillier with that rain chance we've been seeing on Wednesday at 60. But other than that, should make out for a beautiful weekend with temperatures just below 60 degrees for that area. And for tomorrow, our temperatures pretty much the same we've been seeing today, with some rain and snow, as mentioned earlier, near the Salt Lake City area and areas around that area. But overall, should be seeing some spotty areas of sun in the area. It just depends on where you're located. But if we want to take a look here at another area, what's going on a little bit east of us?
Yes, thank you, David. So we're going to be taking a look at the Midwest, and right now we're looking at the dew points. They're all slightly below average, a little bit more if you get a little further north, with the exception of Memphis and those areas in Tennessee. So enjoy that nice hair day, but also remember that chapstick. And for tomorrow, you're going to get those feels like forecasts. You're going to see all of those temperatures kind of in the sub-freezing. It's going to alternate as you go, but they're not going to fluctuate too much either. For our radar and clouds, we see this low pressure system that's making its way across the Midwest. We are going to see things like, we've seen things already, like hurricane force wind gusts. We've seen sustained winds. That's where we're going to be getting a lot of those high wind warnings, and it's going to be creating those blizzards. We're not going to be getting too much snow, actually, and that's not quite what makes a blizzard, but we are going to see the winds are what make this the story of the Midwest. So we're going to get a lot of that snowfall, mainly in Iowa, a little bit more as you go up into Minneapolis and Minnesota area. You're going to see it roll in a little bit northeast as we get into the time. And for Omaha, this is actually where I'm from, we're going to be seeing that wind rolling in there on Wednesday, and we're going to see those temperatures not too great out, but I'm a southerner at heart, honestly. These are not nice temperatures for me, but my relatives will tell you that this is a little bit nicer than what it's actually been lately. So you're going to get that, and at the end of the week, you will be rewarded with some sunshine there on Saturday. And if you find yourself in Chicago for spring break, you're going to get a little bit of a wintry mix there on Wednesday, and you're going to get a little bit of nicer temperatures, 50, but you still are going to see that sub-freezing right there, 27. You're going to get a little bit of sunshine as well as you get throughout the week, but again, you're taking turns with that low pressure system moving in, and you'll be receiving that as we get into Wednesday. And then when we look at tomorrow's temperatures, you're going to be seeing, again, that low pressure system, kind of the low temperatures following that as well. You're going to see 60 degrees in places like Columbus, and then lows a little bit further north in places like Minneapolis. It's going to be definitely a time to take care and prepare all of those wintry weather as you get that wind warning. You're going to want to just have a preparedness for if the power goes out, and you're going to want to just make sure if you are going to be in your car, if your car breaks down, definitely make sure to have that coat in there as well. So we've been looking at a lot of individual places across the U.S., but now Jordan's going to tell us more about the bigger picture.
Yeah, so when you put it all together in the national, you can see that there's really a lot of things happening all throughout the country. You can see that with the temperatures. So right down here in Florida, Tallahassee, 72. But then when you go up north, you can see it's 29. So we're really seeing those fluctuating temperatures all throughout. We're seeing the warmer temperatures here a little bit closer to the East Coast, pretty mild. But then behind that, where that front has moved through, that's when we're definitely seeing the cooler temperatures, although it's not quite as cold as we were seeing just a few weeks ago. And then again, when you look at the humidity, you can see that it's really, really dry here on the western portion of the country, so where we've already seen that system move through. But you can see it really clearly on this dew point map, that you can see this cold front right here and those storms that are coming and affecting a lot of the southeast. But you can see that this system is not just affecting the southeast. While we're seeing those severe effects down here, right now particularly you can see it moving through Louisiana, starting to go through Mississippi and Alabama. It's going from north to south, so the most northern parts of this system are reaching all the way up to Canada, while the southern parts go all the way down to the Gulf. So there's going to be widespread effects seen with this storm, and you can see that really just here clearly on the radar, all that rain transitioning up into that snow as you get a little bit more to the north. And with that, one of the big things that we're really looking at is the severe weather threat here. So if you look down in the southern part of Mississippi, Alabama, but really just throughout this whole region, there is a severe weather risk. We saw that move through the Texas area today, and it's currently moving through New Orleans in that area right now, where we're seeing severe thunderstorm warnings. We've had a few tornado watches, a few tornado warnings issued, and we're just seeing that storm continue to move through. But once it's done moving through that central or that region of the southeast, it's going to continue to push off and then pose a severe weather threat for Florida, South Carolina, Georgia going into tomorrow. And you can see all that is just bringing a whole lot of rain. The whole eastern portion of the country is really going to be seeing all that rain, and it's going to be cooling down a little bit, but we are going to be seeing pretty warm temperatures after that. Tonight it's looking pretty mild across most of the country, and then heading into tomorrow you'll see that cool down happens up here north, and then we're just going to see those winds continue to move through, and we're going to see those mild temperatures and pretty warm down in Miami. But with this storm moving through, it's going to have impacts here in Tallahassee. So Ayana is going to show that how it's going to impact our day tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, looking around campus, we're starting to see the last of those sunsets. Usually we do this show a little bit earlier, and you can kind of see those sunsets as they start to head down. But right now, we're still sitting at those beautiful conditions. I know that it's been a little bit windy as I headed into the studio today. My hair was going everywhere. But if you look down towards the coast, we're seeing those current temperatures to be a little bit colder, 68 in Apalachicola. But if you head more inland, we're looking at a little bit of those warmer temperatures, but not too much of a drastic change there. And for that radar, like they were talking about, look at that thing. Boom, it's already gone. It's going to move really quickly through Tallahassee here in those early morning hours. So just keep aware of that. I know that classes got canceled by a good hour, so stay inside and maybe skip that early morning jog. But for that late night forecast, we're really going to be sitting in the those nice 68, 67. It's going to be warmer than usual, but it's still overnight, and with those winds, it's feeling a little bit colder than that, so maybe grab a jacket. But for the weekend forecast, you might think that after this little storm that moves through, or this storm that moves through is going to be some nice conditions on Thursday and Friday, but we're going to see another front bring some more storms on Saturday and Sunday as we head into spring break. So if you have plans to head out of town, maybe that will be for the best, because we will be seeing the colder temperatures on Sunday following that front as well. And for that dog walk forecast, maybe let's head out towards 11 instead of early in those morning hours, just to save you and your pooch with that severe weather heading its way. But towards the rest of the day, it'll clear up and it'll be a little bit more sunny and a little bit warmer, so maybe head out to the pool. Later in the day, it'll be a nice temperature to do so. And for those airport delays, Tallahassee is not specifically looking at any airport delays, but like they were talking about, Dallas is going to be seeing some delays just due to that severe weather as well. And overnight, we're going to be sitting at 68 as well, so maybe grab a jacket with those winds, but other than that, you won't be seeing anything too severe with that. And then if we head into the weekday forecast, we're going to see those temperatures dip on Thursday and Friday, but they're going to move their way back up as we head into the rest of the weekend. But let's close that out one more time with the local here with Jack.
Yes. And thank you so much, Ayana. You can see right now a live look at Doak Stadium. You can see a gorgeous sunset that just passed through. You can see those clouds in the sky now, but overall a great night. But this will change as we have a cold front coming through, bringing a strong squall line as it comes through, but not anything to worry about right now. We will see that as we go into the AM hours, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., as we talk about the time in just 1 second. Now you can see the current temperatures. Look at this. We have a hot spot for you in Valdosta and Live Oak, 75 degrees. And as always, a little cool off for you in the coast with 68 for you in Apalachicola. Now tonight's forecast, just like we talked about, you can see we will have a strong storm system coming through. That's going to cause some rainy and even some severe thunderstorms that we will be looking at. The future radar, let's time this all out. You can see starting at 2 a.m. it went through Mariana at Tallahassee about 3 and 4, and then as we go to Madison around 6. Now the temperatures or the timing of this definitely could change, so watch out and be aware, weather aware, because we are expecting maybe a brief tornado and potentially some hail, but we will talk about the effects in just a second. Now you can see right now, Tallahassee is a level 2 out of 5. That means it's a slight chance of severe weather, but again, it will weaken as we go into tomorrow, thankfully, but it will have just enough energy to go right back up with our winds as it goes off into the Atlantic coast. Now tomorrow, AM storms like we expected, clearing up to PM, but that does not mean we won't have any weather. We will still have those winds, as you can see right now, winds west-southwest 21 miles per hour. Again, we are not used to seeing winds like that right now. Now let's talk about our 7-day forecast. Just like we talked about, that cold front is coming through as we see 66 degrees for you on Thursday, and then we will have another system coming through on Saturday that will also cause a cold front with 68 and 66, and then perfect weather conditions for you with a high of 77 degrees if you were still going to be here in Tallahassee. I know most of us FSU students will be gone enjoying our spring break, but if you will be, look at this, an amazing 77 degrees. Now I'm going to send it off to you, Ayana and Jordan at the desk.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Definitely one of the things that we saw a lot today is that we need to be looking out for that severe weather.
Yeah.
We're going to be seeing it move in through the overnight into those early morning hours. So because of that, Leon County and FSU both have an hour delay. So FSU classes and functions are not starting until 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. I have an 8 a.m., so I'm kind of happy to hear about that just so I can stay like out of that weather and staying indoors in that early morning.
Yeah, definitely.
Weather.
That weather is not the weather that you want to be out there. So overnight, especially, you really want to make sure that you have a way to get weather alerts if things do get severe tonight. So just be aware of that. Just keep an eye out on what the weather might be doing tonight and just have a way to know what's happening.
Absolutely, yeah. And for our socials, follow us on X at FSU Weather.
And like us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
And follow us on Instagram at FSU Weather.
And while you're here on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us at FSU Weather.
And also follow us on TikTok at FSU Weather. And we're going to give you guys one last look at our 7-day forecast. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this Tuesday's show, and have a good night.